Hey adventurers, welcome to another episode of In Skyrim. Okay, one of the Dawn Guard's armored trolls is here. Wow, that's some rock there. Yeah. Here he is.
If you would please sit with me for a moment before you retire, I would be thankful. I find myself uncharacteristically overcome.
Okay.
Come to me, my Mirandasins.
Okay. Is that it? I don't know why there's this delay. Don't know whether she's got more to say or that was the end of it. Sure, this is wise.
Hush, my Mirandasins. Destiny awaits. Yes, master.
Let's trade.
In what skimpy outfit will you have me wear this time? Very well.
Good, you came. There's a lot going on here, but we need to find things that corroborate with my father's version of what happened.
What happened to the house?
During the fight, the candle horn got knocked over. By the time the snow came, half the place was burned down, along with much of the evidence.
Well, let's proceed then.
Of course. My father said he was cooking dinner when he heard a commotion outside. The trespassers must have shot down a deer. Smelling my father's dinner, they offered to share the venison in exchange for a drink and a warm fire. On this much, both sides agree. But out here you can never be too careful. My father demanded the strangers to leave the property and take the deer with them. The strangers were insulted. In hindsight, my father should have shown more tact. Nobody likes to be called a thief. Eventually things got heated and shots were fired. These arrows are proof of that. My father ran inside and got his axe. There was a fight near the hearth when one of them knocked over a candle horn. When the fire started, everyone, including my father, fled. Given how detailed my father was, I wouldn't be surprised if your findings match his story.
Plenty of arrows, an axe. I'm not sure those trees are supposed to be here.
My father never liked hunting. Not at first, anyway. But he learned to love it, because he knew how much it meant to me. Part of me thinks this is all my fault. Had I wanted to stay in the city, he wouldn't be in this situation. But then I think back to all those times we spent together, and how much it meant to him, and I don't have the heart to take them away. Have you ever lost anyone close to you, friend?
Can't say I have.
You are so lucky. Death plagues this land, so much so that even a humble man like my father finds himself caught in its snare. But he still has hope, in the form of you and I. Meet me in solitude. Together we'll find a way to prove his innocence.
Okay, that got rid of all the trees in here. There's some grass. Wolf Queen. Okay.
I am beginning to tire of spending my time with fools.
Okay, that wig's not really working, is it?
I once visited the Bard's College.
In what skimpy outfit will you have me wear this time?
I do not understand it.
In what skimpy outfit will you have me wear this time? Surfacers can be so stupid.
Okay. Helsing said something about the Bard's College while I was doing that.
And for
Praise
that
the
reason,
divines
I
you're
think it
here.
would be a
Come on, let me
mistake to
introduce
waste the
you.
Jarl's time any more than we already have. Further delay will not change the facts at hand.
My Jarl, if I may, the witness I spoke of earlier has arrived. Given he's examined the scene of the altercation, I'd like to have him cross-examine Formir's testimony.
Are you sure this witness of yours can be objective?
I had the captain of the guard vet him, just as he did with your apothecary.
Huh, we shall see.
Vormir, there's still time to end this folly. The lease agreement proves you are trespassing. I think it's clear to both you and the court that he cannot be held accountable for your injuries.
My Jarl, it is very noble of this man to defend his father's honor. And for that, he should be commended. Unfortunately, his contention that we trespassed on his father's property is simply not true. It is not trespassing if the man invites you into his home.
You mentioned something that would convince us. Please proceed.
Thank you, my Jarl. You see, my housecarl and I were hunting a deer when one of our stray shots happened to hit this man's cottage. An unfortunate accident, but nothing particularly damaging to the woodwork.
You said one arrow, but there's more than one scattered around the house? About the house?
Well, that's because some of the arrows belong to my companion. I said I shot one arrow into the cottage by accident. I made no mention of him. Now, if you'll allow me to continue, my Jarl. After the arrow hit the cottage, this man's
It's
father
nearly
came
time to
bursting through
collect
the door.
taxes on your properties
We
here in the
apologize
city,
for the
Braga.
disturbance. To make amends,
We'll need
we
to
offered
visit
share the
each home
venison.
for an assessment.
He agreed and beckoned
Is
me
it
come
that
inside.
time again already?
Naturally,
Very
we were
well.
pleased to get out of the cold.
Let's meet this
My
evening and
companion
make the
was skinning
arrangements.
deer, while I
Oh,
perused a
well
nearby
done.
bookshelf.
Very
I remember
subtle.
this part clearly.
I beg your
because
pardon?
I was pleased to find my favorite
Oh, I'm
series,
sorry.
The
Did I
Wolf
imply
Queen,
that you'd
on
been
the top
meeting for
shelf.
purposes other than court
In fact,
business?
I had just
must
opened the
forgive
book to
me.
the first page
Hold
when I
your
heard my
tongue,
companion
wizard,
scream.
or you're likely to lose it.
I should very much like to see you try it, my dear
Top
student.
shelf?
Stop
Asgard's
it, both of
father
you. You're acting like children.
alphabetized his books.
You don't know that. You weren't even there. Besides, maybe he simply forgot to put the book back on the shelf. All I know is that's how it happened. I would not lie in front of the
my
Jarl.
appointment to meet with General Tullius?
In any case,
there are
as
some
I was
issues we
saying,
must speak about.
I heard
My
my
God.
companion scream behind me. I turned around, only to see your father had struck him with his axe.
Liar!
Calm yourself. I let him tell his version. Please allow me the same courtesy.
Fine.
When I saw my injured companion, I acted on reflex. I wrestled the assailant to the ground and told my friend to flee. At that point, I was certain I was going to die. I was fumbling about, trying to find a weapon or perhaps a miracle. My hands found a candle horn. I threw it at my attacker and missed wildly, but when it struck the wood, the cabin lit up like a bonfire. And the fire is what allowed me to escape. And with that, I conclude my testimony. It is my belief that this man's father attacked us without provocation. What I ask for is not vengeance, my Jarl, but for justice. But whatever you decide, I will humbly accept your judgment.
Thank you.
That was amazing. You buried him with his own lies. It was fun watching him try and dig his way out.
Barring any surprises, I'm sure Elisif will rule in our favor.
Now what?
If it pleases the court, I would like to introduce some new evidence regarding our witness's character, which I have just obtained via court.
Why is Elisif naked?
Very well.
Thank you, my Jarl. I do not wish to alarm anyone here, but I believe this information may very well compromise the integrity of our chief witness.
What are you up to, Vormir? Explain yourself.
It is not I who has to explain myself. After all, you are the one who attested to the impartiality of this witness. A witness who happens to be a well-known associate of the Raven of Anvil.
Oh.
Clearly both his testimony and the lease brought by Asgeld cannot be admitted.
Oh, come on now, Vormir. Now you're just grasping at straws. You've clearly lost. Be thankful you and your companion escaped with your lives.
Curse you! I will do no such thing. My honor demands justice. I request a trial by combat.
Now why would I do that? I'm not going to risk my father's life when the Jarl is minutes away from granting him a pardon.
Huh, I thought for sure you would take that bait. But I won't stand here and give you the satisfaction of winning this trial. I'm dropping the charges.
You're what? But why? What's your game?
Simple. If I allow Elisif to rule in your favor, that means I'll have to defy her will to get my way.
You're a stubborn fool, Formir. But fine. I'd rather not leave it up to the Jarl either.
Then we're agreed. I apologize for wasting the court's time. We will handle this matter internally.
Good. You're dismissed.
By Julianus, you did it! You saved my father's life!
For now, Faramir doesn't seem like he will let it go.
Yes, and the fact that the Jarl never made a decree means that there will be no record of this trial. Still, it will be a while before it's forgotten, and time will only weaken his case.
What will you do?
We celebrate! I'm sure the first night outside of the dungeon, even the tavern will feel like Sovngarde itself. As for you, here, it's a piece of armor that saved my own life more times than I care to count. It may not be better than what you have, but it's important to me that you have it. Now, I'm off to meet my father. I didn't have anything specific planned, but I'll just order a pint of mead and let it take care of the rest.
Steward, I will need the following reagents for my studies. Please see to them.
Miss Stentor, these are quite expensive. I trust you know how limited the Hold's funds are at this time.
Yes, and I'm also aware of how necessary my divinations and wards have been in the city's defense. My experiments are all I ask for in return.
Very well, but I suspect Her Grace will not be pleased.
I think it's time my father moved back to the city. The wilds are too treacherous for someone his age.
Okay.
The houses in the city are like mountains. Good for meditation.
Wonder if we can clear this out.
I once feared animals. This was a product of ignorance. It is the animals who should fear us. They are meat.
Oh my god. No animals here.
The drow are never this idle with their time.
You changed your wig.
In what skimpy outfit will you have me wear this time,
Yeah, she was wearing that. And she switched to that. Okay.
Idleness is the holiday of fools. I have forgotten such scenes of carnage. The ancient Nords built some remarkable crypts and temples. The only thing worse than a fool is a dead one. Die by my hand! What a mess.
Master. You can stay locked.
The craftsmanship of these places is remarkable, but nothing compared to the drow and elven work of my home.
Wasn't what I was coming this way for.
The only thing worse than a fool is a dead one. I have forgotten such scenes of carnage.
Okay. I'm still not getting to it. Okay. It's obviously up on top of the mountain there somewhere. Ah, it's a giant. I don't know where that drinking contest thing. We got that again.
Good Lord, didn't anybody here subscribe?